Hi friends, I welcome you all to my channel, and today's video will be dealing basically regarding the strategy that one should have when she or he goes on to apply for M.Tech, MS or PhD programs in IITs, NITs or in other institutes for the coming academic session. As you all know that the entire country, or you can say the entire world, almost all the countries are under lockdown. There is no transportation, and the colleges in the country are also shut down. So if there is any dilemma in your mind that this is going to adversely affect your career, then rest assured that it's not just you. The entire batch who are thinking of pursuing research are impacted the same. So I would request all of you to shut down all those negativities and start preparing for the coming exams. Now, there are a few things that you should keep in your mind when you apply for the research programs for this academic year. The first thing being is that you should not be very choosy at the beginning of the application process. There are times when students with decent gate score, with decent ranks, become very choosy. Like, I had few friends in my year of B.Tech who become very, in the civil department, they become very choosy, and they choose the best of the IITs, the best of the departments, best of the specializations. And there were few who had to sit at home only because they had not applied at the other places, and the places where they applied didn't give them a call. So that is a disaster. That will kill your academic, a complete academic year of yours. So what I expect all of you to do is to apply wherever you are eligible. And why should you do it is linked to the second point that I'll be telling. You should apply wherever you are eligible, because that is the safest strategy. I know the cost of application will go up for you, but it may save most of you of a complete or an entire academic year. So wherever you are eligible, whichever branches you are eligible, as per the decision taken by the individual department and the individual institute, I would suggest that you go on to apply in most of the places. NITs will be having a centralized admission process, but with IITs, in most of the IITs, what you need to do is that you need to come in person to for a written test or an interview. This is as per my past experience. If this time they allow for Skype interviews, that will be more than welcome. That will be more than welcome. But no one knows what will happen. So these are a few things that I am telling you based on my previous experience. Okay. Now, there may be some of you who have already decided regarding the specialization, and you have good ranks. You may go ahead with your like specializations of choice or institutes of choice. There is no one denying you that. Those students who are not sure where they may get, like recently I got a call from a student who has a gate score of 604, and the institute where he wants to go, the cutoff of last year is 650. So one may never know whether you'll get selected there or not. Okay. So what I was so now the application process is over. Now the entire application process is over. You have applied. Now you get a call. Now you get a call from the institute that, well, you have been selected for the written round or face-to-face interview. You may come, but the time period which they give is very short, like 1 week or 2 weeks. Now this will create a problem for you. Why? Because you need to get tickets, and in the first week of June it won't be easy for you to get tickets, because it will because almost everyone would be returning from their vacation at that point of time. If you don't get a ticket, maybe a flight ticket or a train ticket at that time, then you are ruined. So that's the problem that you'll be facing. The next problem that you'll be facing is that the time period I think that all the IITs will be getting for the selection process is a window of a month or two, either a month or two. And each month, if we take an average, has 4 weekends. So there are 8 weekends at max that the IITs will be getting. Now just think about it. There are 23 IITs, 8 weekends. So on an average, each weekend you'll be getting, you'll be having some interview for at least 3 IITs. Now, if your application numbers are less, like it happened in my case, I got a call from IIT Dhanbad and IIT Madras, and I was devastated when I got to know that both are on the same day, and it is not actually possible, practically possible, to travel from Dhanbad and reach Chennai on the same day. It was not possible. So I had to drop the idea of going for an interview for an MS program at IIT Madras. I went to IIT Dhanbad because then I had a better probability at IIT Dhanbad to get selected. So this is a problem. One is a train ticket, and then the average number of IITs that will be having. So in that case, even the best of the rankers would be facing difficulty. Like suppose you get IIT Madras, IIT Kharagpur, and IIT Kanpur, or the good new IITs like IIT Gandhinagar, which is doing really good, or IIT Hyderabad. If there is a clash amongst the IITs, then you are at loss. So what to do? So I would suggest that maximize your application process, make it sure you get a ticket on time, okay, so that you don't get messed up. If there is a clash of dates. The next thing that I am getting a query about is from most of the B.Tech students. They are asking that whether they can apply for PhD program or not. Here I would be giving a personal view of mine. I sincerely feel that if you have some research exposure in your B.Tech time, and that is fine, you can apply for your PhD program. But if you have no research exposure, I would strongly urge you first take up a M.Tech course, because because M.Tech is like a trailer of the entire research field. It will give you that what lies ahead if you choose research as a area of your interest, or research as an area of your livelihood for future. What lies ahead? So I would, and at the end of M.Tech, if you don't feel that research is something which suits you, then you can always go ahead with your placements and get placed somewhere good. So if you don't have a prior research exposure, I would strongly urge that don't think of PhDs, go for M.Tech. Now, even after this, if someone feels that, and there may be some people who may have thought of a PhD program or availing a PhD program much earlier in life, like at the end of B.Tech or first or second year of B.Tech, they had some clarity. Then it's a welcome thing that you can apply. But then you should have some research exposure. You should try for some research exposure. That will help you out, because you will be directly competing with the M.Tech guys when you go for a PhD program. So why is it so that someone would choose a B.Tech student and not an M.Tech student? That you have to prove. Okay, so there you might face a problem. And regarding publications, there are a few students who ask me, like, is publication really very important for getting an admission in IITs for the PhD program? I would certainly say it's not. Because when I got an admission, I had submitted the paper, but I didn't have a publication. But yes, I had attended a conference. So at the M.Tech level, if you have attended and you have given an oral presentation or a poster presentation, I think that is also more than enough for taking you into consideration for the M.Tech program, for the PhD program. And mind you, both in M.Tech and in PhD, what is basically looked into is how strong are you in your basics, like the research that you have done in that particular field. How much strong are you? So try to build up on your basics, and this is the time which you should actually use for that. Like all the GATE students, I would suggest that please don't leave your books, okay? Because you have your interviews, you have your in written rounds ahead. So I know there are some institutes which will take directly on the basis of gate score, but there are other institutes, there are departments which may not take. There will be a written round, there will be an interview round. For that you have to be prepared. Okay, so I hope that this clears some air, and if there is any query, any doubt, okay, you can always write in the comment section of this video about the dilemma that you have. Let's have some discussion in the comment section if you have any issue. Thank you. Jai Hind.